Previous episode starts with Keith discovering AI, then immediately turning dishwasher time into Olympic bullshit.
Google dropped Omni last week or 2 weeks ago. We have this ability to explore more environments and more worlds, and I'm loving where the team is taking it and creating some really fun content. The war over was so funny about it. Okay, so I'll walk to
You can continue to play these games that don't do anything for you all by yourself.
That is modern adulthood. One person makes productivity hacks, the other says, please stop making dishes weird.
Yeah, no, but I'll go get a cup of water. Okay, so can I unload the dishwasher in like 97 seconds before my next thing gets done over here?
Keith saw 97 seconds and said, nice, enough time to lose a fight with 6 plates.
And it's just this ridiculous games I play. I'll get a cup of water as the thing's filling. Can I do this, do this, do this?
And again, I'll let you play these games by yourself that don't have to be played. If I'm playing that game, there's a direct connection to production.
Jon won't touch a fork unless it comes with KPIs, a sponsor code, and a reason to yell at Keith.
Johnny, I got a sport for you and I to sign up for.
When Keith says new sport, every 40-year-old knee in the room starts typing a resignation email.
Well, the part that scares him, it says you and I.
That is the exact moment a group chat becomes a physical activity against your will.
Yes.
I want to know what it is. What's the relationship within this sport? If it's something you used to do with Bobo, you're not signing me up.
Bobo sounds like the friend who says it's easy, then your weekend becomes ice packs and forms.
When did the epiphany come?
Right when we always get cleaned up first.
2 grown men getting ready together is either bonding or the opening scene of a terrible decision.
Okay, yeah.
And we always it's kind of nice. We just catch up and, talk about whatever the day and just bullshit as we're kind of getting ourselves ready.
I'm this guy. I'll be honest, I've gone through a period in my life where I struggle with this a little bit. Where, when you'd feel like you perhaps aren't the provider in the traditional sense, and you say to yourself, what exactly are you providing to your partner and kids?
Every dad heard that and immediately remembered the subscription he forgot to cancel in 2019.
Right, I reflect back, so I never want to say peak, but I was going through my peak financial side of my career when I was my late 30s. I sold ICUC when I was 38, actually. So it was through my 30s and 40s when I went through my peak high earning career. And then
Take me up 1 second.
Jon pausing feelings for air ventilation is the most dad tech support shit ever recorded.
I got to turn on my air ventilation.
Yeah. And then what happened was, sold the company. I worked for 10 years. I got the call in 21. We were going separate ways. And then all that changed. And I will admit, struck me when Chuck said to me, he's like, man, he goes, my parents lived too long.
That line made every adult check retirement savings and immediately blame Uber Eats.
And he's like, I don't want to live that long because I don't want to run out of money.
There was a point where, because we all have different home runs in our lives, right?
Yes.
And I was talking to, my best friend who loved him to death, really fucking one of the most amazing people. Became a teacher, a high school teacher, that was the life he chose. He likes that security, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Doesn't have the stomach for the other side of the fence.
Sure.
Right? So anyway, we're talking and I'm pretty honest with him.
Yeah.
He's like, well, dude, you're done. No, I'm done. These are just measuring sticks.
That is not a midlife crisis. That is a man turning peace into a suspicious email attachment.
Yes.
Done would mean that I have the goal of not doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
And this is and he was just like, dude, you're like fucking peeling my cap right now.
Yeah. Well, and I had somebody say to me, like, why is Keith doing what he's doing? Like, why does he work so hard to do this more, like every single day? And I'm like, because I'm not done.
That is every tired adult opening 14 tabs at night because rest feels like quitting.
Like, what to your point, like, what's done? Like, I done? No, I don't want to be done. You know what I mean?
Well, earlier you had the mindset that I'm done. That's why you stopped.
Well, so it was a different type of mindset, though, right? It was very different, right? Now,
Stopped.
Yes.
So explain to me the difference.
So I would say to you that what do you mean when I sold when I stopped, or as I was?
Yeah, you quote retired.
Yeah. Well, no, I would say
You didn't retire, or you did? Maybe I misunderstand.
No, I would say I semi-retired, right? So when I sold, I ran the company for 10 more years, and I was the CEO, but I had a strong team around me.
But when that was over, you retired.
When that was over, I stepped back, and yes, okay, retired. Yeah, 100%.
So that's the difference. That's what we're talking about right there.
Yeah.
So to a certain extent, you had that mindset too.
I just want to put stable takes, because where I'm different, I'm not the 20-year-old on X who's making shit and saying shit, who's like, I'm just 20-year-old. No, I'm fucking 54 and I'm doing the same thing.
Keith is 54 and still online, swinging at algorithms like Facebook Marketplace sold him a haunted treadmill.
So with a little bit of experience behind me, I'd like to hope you guys would take my word with a little more at face value.
Yeah, 1000%.
Right? Because, I don't know, it's crazy, man.
Hey, learning from you every day there, Chief.
The world is a crazy place, and the tools are moving fast. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm putting truth out there, but the reality is that results today are all that matter, because that's what the tools are delivering. And I'm sorry, Maddie, and to my friends out there that maybe have a believe me, I thought there's value in the wisdom that we carry, and there is, but that value of our wisdom only connects if we can deliver the results of what's happening today. Because if we're just walking to the table with the knowledge but not bringing with what's here today, we haven't connected at all.
Old wisdom without new tools is a GPS from 2007 yelling rerouting forever. Watch the previous highlights. Full show is up next.
A lot of men stopped praying and started checking their bank app like it had answers. Then 3 a.m. hits.
The house is quiet.
and success feels weirdly empty.
Today is not church.
And it is not an atheist cage match.
It is a conversation for men who stop believing,
But never stop searching.
only on Mornings in the Lab.
Good morning, nation. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Your live morning show for real talk, motivating content, and big conversations. We got Jimmy on the buttons, we got Kai on the buttons, and of course we got our very own producer Neiman out there making sure the words sound as good as I look this morning. We got Dwayne and Rico doing the fucking arm wrestle for who's gonna own the baby boomer token. He is toothless and proud. His name, Matt Roof. Talk to John's the bullshit professor. Kai's the shit professor. Brianna, you're always teaching me, man, every single Tuesday. Nation, you will not find this kind of knowledge anywhere on the planet to start your day other than Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Hey, just hopping around this morning. Good morning, nation. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday, June 11th, and we're going somewhere today that most men just will not go on camera. No, we're going to talk about that one thing nobody likes to talk about. Wow, yes. Is it belief? Is it faith? What's your belief? Hey, yesterday we put the financial identity crisis on the table. Yeah, the man who let his net worth quietly become his self-worth. And then he woke up at 50 wondering who he was underneath the number. And here's the part we did not finish. Once a man figures out the number, he was never the man. He's left with a bigger question. Then what is the man? What is actually underneath it all? Yes, and hey, you're right, Neiman. We got a guest on the big show here today. His name is Mark Anthony. No, not the guy from Van Halen. I know you're, oh no. Is it? Yeah, Mark Anthony, the bassist. No, it's not Mark Anthony. No, hey, today, guys, on the big show, what faith actually looks like for men who stopped believing. Do you believe? Do you believe? What do you believe in? What do you believe in? Yes. So we're having a big conversation today. What happens when you stop believing? What do you believe in? Oh, what is this? An 80s video here? We're talking Mark Anthony. We're talking Don't Stop Believing, some Journey. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. And you know, faith doesn't have to necessarily mean religion. It doesn't have to necessarily mean church. I mean the thing that a man reaches for at 2, 3 in the morning and not the morning wood when the house is quiet and the success is real and he still feels hollow. So myself, Jon Anderson, and of course, Mark Anthony, we're going to get into that conversation today. So Mark is a Supreme Court admitted trial attorney who built his whole life on evidence. Hey, Petro, ears up. We got evidence on the show here today. And who also says he talks to the Neiman, really? Neiman, really? Neiman, are you fucking serious? Really? Guy talks to the dead. All right, coming up on the show, a guy talks to the dead. Yeah, I think I missed this part when we invited him. The guy talks to the dead. All right. Okay. We got a Petro. I hope you're tuning into this one, man. We got a dude who talks to the dead. Yep. Anyways, coming up on the big show here today, we got a guy who talks to the dead. We got some fun stuff. Did you know something about penises? We're probably going to talk about that today as well. We got something epic. A little bit of John Cougar Mellencamp dropping on the show here today, and some crazy WTF. Hey, could you imagine if you walked into a hospital room and you saw your dad laying on the bed and this was happening? Coming up, some WTF on the big show here today as well. On Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Hey, did you guys turn to the Roofie show today, 7:30 Eastern time? Roofie gets up and after it right here on the Mornings Network. Kindness Rising. He puts a little bit of kindness on the table. And of course, yesterday, 8:30 Eastern time, we got Cheryl Whitaker gets up and gets after with us on the show, a little show that we call It Starts With Joy. And she had a wonderful leadership show yesterday. And of course, we also had What the Truck. Hey, did you guys tune into What the Truck yesterday? What an awesome conversation I had with Joshua Kent. You know what I love about that? So Josh is like a superhero. He's like a Green Beret guy, police officer. He jets into crazy places around the world and does the business and goes back to home to his bed, his family and stuff. And man, he sat down with Paul and Adam yesterday, just dropped nugget after nugget of just goodness. It's like, oh my God, I just felt myself leaning into that one. Yeah, speaking of leaning into that one, hey Kai, I know you're on the buttons because I know Jimmy's out doing something. Who the hell knows what Jimmy's doing? It's Jimmy's wife's birthday. Hey Kai, hey, just snooze today? I know Rico did the snooze. Good morning, Rico. Hey, Rico, we're talking faith today. I know you're a man of faith, Rico. We're getting into faith today. What faith actually looks like for men who stop believing. But right now I'm leaning into the snooze button. 1 day, 16 minutes. No, 1 day, 16 hours. Is that 16 hours, Kai? Holy smokeronies, man. Just laying there wasting your life. Just laying there wasting your life. Just do nothing. Wasting my life. Speaking of wasting life. Yeah, 16 hours. Holy freaking smokies, man. Speaking of wasting life, I was not wasting life yesterday. I got to get into this one. So, I like to nerd out about my AI models. Well, Claude Mythos, the model dropped a couple days ago. I had a lot of time to play with it yesterday. I just got to say this, man. I was spending months trying to solve some problems with Conversation OS that I am building. And I sat down yesterday and just did a little and then all done. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking powerful. That's pretty cool. So to those of you guys that are hiring people, you're probably not hiring people anymore. You're just going to probably plug in Claude Mythos. But it's true. I actually kind of had to, Neiman, we haven't talked. I had to kind of realign where my head's going with maybe people. Because this thing was like, I'm just going to do it for you. I'm like, really? Just did it all. Yeah, Fable. True story. Yeah, Fable solved the discovery engine Kai and I were working on, even though she's talking to dead people. We solving that, solved my desige, just solving problem after problem. Oh, Neiman, get this, man. Remember Center Stage, like our Center Stage product and the guest engine and all that? I've been trying to solve for months with Grace doing it all. Fuck, man, did it all last night. Boop, one button done. Boom. Yeah. So, anyways, pretty impressed with Fable. So if you guys are new to AI or just kind of walking into the AI world, well, you missed all the bad stuff for the last few years. You're stepping into a brand new model that is kicking ass. Oh, baby. Yeah. So, and costing money too. That's the other thing nobody's talking about. So, Fable also is actually probably double the price. Yeah. I would tell you that, I got a task done in about 7 minutes yesterday. This whole show, true story, but it's actually double credits. But it's fascinating though because it's double credits, but it gets done in half the time. So I don't know. Hey, Holroyd, I haven't used Claude a lot. So you are saying I should upgrade to the paid account? Yeah. So you know what I would do, Holroyd? They got it free right now until June 22nd. So if you're on a paid account, and then what I think is happening, they're moving to credits only, tokens only. So and that to me is when I think you're going to see the great divide happen, like I talked about yesterday. You're going to have the folks that are paying for the basic model. And then you're going to have the folks that are affording to pay for the let's get it done model like Fable. But Adam, I could not encourage you enough to give it a shot. Just to see what it can do and open your minds to the possibilities. And you're like, all right, yeah, okay, I see that. But it's funny because I built my little application, Conversation OS, and I was struggling with getting a few things done. And then when they released Mythos, I guess about a month ago, it was out there like breaking into banks and nation states and Apple. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I wonder how it's going to do with my little application. Well, sure enough, it did it just fine. So if you haven't tried the brand new Claude model, I would encourage you to do so. It is awesome. John Anderson's going to join me in the lab for a wonderful conversation. We're going to catch up on a few things. Hey, did you guys catch the Knicks last night? Whoa. Kai, we got some trending topic. We'll get into that because you know what, guys? The morning loop, it starts. Yep. Right now.
Good morning, nation. Last week, Melissa had a tooth infection. One tiny nerve held the whole room emotionally hostage.
A toothache doesn't stay in your mouth. It spreads into your mood, your patience, and your entire personality. But nation, most of you didn't know this. When GPT and VEO act like they're in paradise, that's worse than a toothache.
That's not a rendering issue. That's digital dental pain chewing directly on the last nerve you had left.
Exactly. When someone asks, how are you? You don't answer. You say, ask me when the day ends.
So protect your teeth, guard your last nerve, and never trust AI when it says, I understood. Let's start the morning loop.
All right. Hey, Kyle, let's run it. Let's run the big trending topic this morning.
Knicks were down 29 in the finals and still won. That's not a comeback. That's a man refusing to be embarrassing in public.
OG's winning putback wasn't pretty. That's the point. When you're behind, you don't need perfect play. You need next play.
Johnson said 0-0 mentality. Translation, stop arguing with the scoreboard. If you feel behind, reset the play. Now you move forward.
Yeah, it's those of you guys that are paying attention to the NBA Finals. Last night, the Knicks made a big old comeback. And, man, I think anybody who was the who's who in sports or in entertainment or in New York City was at the game last night, man. Wow. I got to tell you, I don't spend a lot of time watching basketball. It's just not my thing because I'm a short little guy. Yeah, I'm just a short little guy from Canada. So did not spend a lot of time watching, but I've been paying attention from afar. And I got up this morning. I was like, holy smokes, they won. Yeah, so there you go. Knicks 107-106. A clutch win yesterday in New York City. Series is tied. All right, coming up in a couple minutes, John Anderson's going to join me in the lab. And of course, from a Navy SEAL father who died twice to an aunt institutionalized for her intuition, this guest's family has always walked between two worlds. Coming up, the Supreme Court admitted attorney and a world-renowned medium, Mark Anthony, a lawyer who talks to dead people. He solved a murder on live TV coming up this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Good morning, Sullivan. What's going on this morning, brother? How's things over out there on the left west coast? Hey, you guys said something off the rails here, guys. Neiman talking to you, Neiman. Something dropped on SEMrush this morning or yesterday. LinkedIn, the number 2 cited site on the internet for influencing AI models. Yeah, there you go. So to those of you that are ignoring LinkedIn, ignore at your own will. Content is being content on your brand, on your business page and your human page, your personal page are being cited more than often. So get your content up on LinkedIn. Get into the Origins campaign, like we got here going on with in the Mornings in the Lab network. Myself, Rufy, Adam, Paul, Kiesel, the whole gang has got their product out there. On the Origins campaign. So, all right. So here we go. What do we got next on the table? Yes, Bitcoin. Oh yeah, we'll be talking about that a little bit later too. Hey, so here's the thing. There's only so much money in the world, unless we're going to print some new money. And Bitcoin crashed 52% from the all-time high. Why? Because everybody took their money out to go buy what, Kai? Run the clip.
Bitcoin's down 52%. Not of the crypto winter, it's an IPO tax. People are selling to raise $75 billion for SpaceX.
And ETFs bled for 13 straight sessions down. 4.3 B dollars out. Translation, big money hit cash out to chase a shiny rocket.
Even Sailor's Crew sold for the first time since 2022. When the priest leaves church early, you check the exits.
Yeah, so there you go. And I was somewhat quietly wondering about this, right? Because you got Anthropic coming up with an IPO, you got OpenAI with an IPO, you got SpaceX with an IPO. There's only so much money, and people are losing their jobs. And I'm like, okay, so what's going to happen? So sure enough, everybody's like, oh, I got to go sell my Bitcoin. So they go sell their Bitcoin, and as Sailor said, we need to generate 75 billion. For this IPO. So ton of folks dropping their Bitcoin so they can take that cash and go tune it into SpaceX. So perhaps there are some opportunities on the table to invest. And Rufy says they're going to go print some more money because there's 3 big companies that are going to need a lot of money. And we haven't even talked about the fact that SpaceX is probably going to merge with Tesla and create a $3 to $4 trillion monolith that just maybe prints or spends cash. So there you go. Bitcoin is Johnny's like, hey, is there something wrong with the network? For me, it doesn't look like we're alive right now. Yeah, Johnny's got to hit refresh there, John. Just hit refresh, pal. I love it. Refresh, and we are there, pal. Refresh, and we are live in the lab with Keith and Jon coming up in a few minutes. We know that Jon's new to internet streaming, so we'll just see if he's learning some new skills this morning when Johnny joins us in the lab on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Hey Kai, you guys, hey Nation, you guys like John Cougar Mellencamp? I love John Cougar Mellencamp. Yep, true story. And here's what we're gonna do. Hey Kai, can you just drop me the link for the show in my Roam browser? I'm gonna go drop over to Johnny here. Thank you. Because the young man is having some troubles for some reason getting into the show here today. So we're gonna do that right now with Anderson. Gonna pop him over there. Boop boop boopity boop. There we go. Oop, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Good live content for Billis and Anderson this morning. Because we're new to doing this, we've never done this before. Yeah, that's funny shit. Here we go. All right, there's the go for Mr. Anderson. Boom. Okay, there we go. All right. So yes, I was saying that, hey, Kai, run the clip. Let's get to the next story this morning on the big show we call it Mornings and Live with Keith Jon and friends. I know we got, psychedelic trial. Yes, we got 90% of psychedelic trials have a fatal flaw. Oh, hey, Petro, ears up, man. We're gonna put this one. Yeah, my first time. So this one's gonna come up on Friday. I want to talk about it now, but then Kai, I want you to kind of put this one onto the table, and then we're gonna revisit it tomorrow with Petro. But before we do that, let's bring the rookie in. Yeah, his name, Jon Anderson. What's up, rookie?
What? Rookie? What? Where's the rookie coming from?
Oh, you had some problems getting into the StreamYard this morning, Mr. Rookie.
Dude, literally, there's no on, I pulled up our screen. There's always all the stacks of shows.
Yeah.
And ours shows red live. Nothing.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I had the same thing. I logged in this morning. I was like, where the fuck is the show?
Yeah, there's nothing there. I'm like, fuck. It's like the dates are showing, like, what the fuck?
So
I basically flushed out, came back in, same thing.
Yeah,
The one you sent me via text, I opened up on my computer and bam, here it is.
Yeah. Good morning, Hersey. What's going on? Michael Hurst coaching joining us in the comments this morning. I got to say before, hey, Petro, I'm going to run this clip in a second. Dude, that was a nice looking suit on you, man. That was a sharp suit. Like sharp. You looked quite sharp in that suit.
Yeah, I liked it. I like the suit. I like the car.
Yeah.
I can't say that the combo is.
Yeah, it's not typical. Not a typical combo. No. Okay, speaking of combos, I want to get into this one quickly because I teased it before you walked in. I'll get the last 24 hours with you. Now, this is I think this is a no-brainer. 90% of psychedelic trials have a fatal flaw. Participants know they're on the real drug. Kai, let's run this clip.
New psychedelic trials have a magic trick. 90% of people can tell they got the real drug. That's not double blind. That's double sure. If the placebo group knows their placebo, the results might be hype, not healing.
Yeah.
We need smarter trials, or we're just measuring expectation with a lab coat. So before we crown psychedelics the mental health messiah, what's the effect? Chemistry or confidence? Because I guessed right is not a mechanism of action.
So Petro, John, I'm going to talk to Petro for a quick second here. They did a psychedelic test, and they gave people placebos, and they gave people the real stuff. And the people who were on the real stuff knew that it was the real stuff, and it just basically fucked up the whole study because it was like, no, this isn't a placebo. I'm messed up in my head. So I'm like, well, of course that I would know that I'm all messed up and I'm not on the placebo. Because John, when you're on a placebo, you're not supposed to know whether you're on the placebo or you're on the real thing, whatever you're taking, right? You're supposed to just. You're not supposed to know.
Well, you're correct. So you're saying that they didn't tell people, but what is that? You mean the people that got the real drug could actually feel it, the people that couldn't?
That's exactly it. So like I popped this mushroom and all of a sudden I knew that I didn't get the placebo. So right away I have a bias for, well, of course I'm high. Of course that I'm going to get a certain result because I got the drug.
Well, aren't they really testing the people that didn't get it though?
Well, so here's the problem, though, is that 30% of the trials tested whether blinding held. The problem is that 90% of the people realize that they are actually on the real drug.
But that's part of the test, though. Why is that a problem? I guess that's what I'm not understanding.
So that's a fair question, but isn't that kind of obvious, though? Like, doesn't that kind of wreck the idea of giving somebody a placebo? Like, if I'm giving you the placebo and I'm giving me the real thing,
But the idea is to see if the mind will convince the person that's on the sugar tablets.
Yes.
I mean, this is exactly what the test is for.
Well, you correct.
I'm still not recognizing the problem.
That's what I find funny about it because it's so obvious, though. Because of like it's like seconds in, if I'm getting high, like okay, well I know that I don't have the placebo. So then it's like the test to me would seem like it's over. No.
Well, but it's really not on the people that got the drug. It's really the people that didn't get the drug.
Yes, and they're thinking that they're
the test is okay. The people that got it, I mean, we get a little feedback there.
Yeah, yes.
It's the people that didn't get it that we're watching.
Yeah, well, yes, this is true.
So again, where's the problem?
Well, it's not the problem. I just find it funny, man, that, we're going to give you two things and you don't got the real one. I got the real one. And the guys who got the real one knew right away. It just wrecked the whole study. Like, I just think it wrecks the whole study because you immediately
How does that wreck the study? Because that's okay. Boom. They know they're taking it. So that's feedback.
Yeah.
Now let's see what happens to people that didn't get it. How does it wreck this? I mean, it's data for the study, right?
It is data but it's obvious data, isn't it?
But that's part of the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, fair. But if you know, it kind of just, so if right away.
But they didn't get told, they figured it out. That's the whole fucking test.
Well, the test is over if it just all of a sudden works. It's like, okay.
The test, all that says is, okay, when we give people this shit they know, what happens to people that didn't? Let's watch them now. That's what makes it a test. What the fuck? You preface it. The problem is I'm not recognizing the problem. I'm recognizing as collection data.
So the flaw was the participants knew that they were on the real drug. Like, I know going in that I have the real drug. I put it in my mouth. It's like, okay, well, the trial's over. I know I have the real drug.
Were you told it was the real drug?
No, but the moment I put it in,
so you figured it out. Boom. Okay, this drug, people can tell when they're on it, right?
Yes,
let's see what happens to people without.
So,
that's
but the
test.
The placebo might have suggested that you got the same effects even though you didn't. So then you hallucinated it.
Well, but that's the whole point of the test.
Yes, exactly. Compared to the person.
So where's the problem?
Well, it's not a problem. I just think it's a flaw because if I know right away, then there's really no point in having the further test because.
But you didn't know right away till you took it.
Yeah, but I'm going to know pretty quickly.
Okay, but the bottom line is that's part of it. You're giving people this drug or whatever the substance.
Yes.
Some over here giving it, some over here not.
Yes.
Let's watch everybody. That's the test. There's no problems. It's just data collection.
Yes, it's data collection, but the data gets flawed pretty quickly if the person knows right away that they're on the drug.
How is that flawed? That's the data we're looking for.
Yeah, okay, we're playing with words. Yeah, we're playing. It just the test ends pretty quickly if right away somebody knows. Like if I have a sip of alcohol and I'm drunk immediately, and you have a sip of water.
Well, the test on the people that got the drug is over quickly.
Yes, that's.
But there's a whole other half of the thing that's really we're paying most critical attention to anyway.
Yes.
So again, where's the problem? Where's this flaw? Where's the skew?
Well, so I Melissa, 2 hours later, the whole show was one debate.
I understand. Boom, boy, that happened awfully quick. But is that really a problem, or is that just data?
No, I think that it's well. Let's continue with Petro tomorrow. We'll bring Petro on the show tomorrow because I think it's flawed. I think if you so here we go. We got Petro coming in right now. You could put a high dose of caffeine in placebo, or acknowledge people will tell the difference and run everyone on an AB procedure, determine criterion, and alternate placebo drug test each time. So whatever.
But I still understand where the problem is. The problem would be is if the guy handing out the fucking drugs gave everybody a fucking wink. So they knew they were getting the drugs. There's a problem.
Yes. Oh, hey, I think our guest can talk to this too. We'll bring in Mark Anthony coming up in a few minutes. So, hey, we got Michael Hers.
I still want to know why you think that's a problem, though. I'm not saying you're wrong. Am I missing something here?
I think it's a flaw. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a flaw. I think it's an absolute flaw.
So what would be a better way to do it then?
I don't have the answer, but I can see how it becomes a flaw.
So let's just say we gave nobody the drug. Then we don't have a comparison.
Yeah, we got to get on with it, Johnny. We've gone for too many minutes here. So okay. we got Michael Hers. He's doing better now than before it happened. Like a tune-up, he just took a bit. Oh, Dad had a heart attack. Doing better. My dad had a heart attack. He'd been doing it. Took a long time off, but he has made a recovery. Hers, you say hello to Dad for us and have him join the show and check in with us this morning on
for sure
on Mornings in the Lab. Hey, Johnny, we got some peptide stuff as well in the news. Nature warns peptide hype is outrunning the science. Kai, let's run the clip.
Nature just dunked on the peptide craze. BPC 157, TB 500, secretagogues. Most evidence? Rodents. Human dosing? Guesswork. Risks? Fog.
The vibe is science later, syringe now. Regulators are tightening up, and people are still treating experimental peptides like pre-workout. So today, what the article actually says, what's real versus hype, and how to think like an adult before turning your body into a DIY lab.
Hey, so listen here, Johnny. The concern is not that all peptides are illegitimate. It's just that there's still this, we got kind of three markets. Am I correct? Three, right? You have the approved, you have the gray, then you have what's the third one? The compound, right? Am I correct?
Well, they're approved and compound are kind of the same family.
Oh, okay. But there's the very much the black market though, right? Am I correct in that?
The black market comes with what's illegal.
Yeah. Okay.
Illegal.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah. I want to make sure I use the right terms of this.
Yeah, so there's basically gray is the term.
Yes.
Because there's nothing illegal.
Right. But what we want to do is we want to know the source. So this story is talking about know your source.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we want to know where the source of the product.
That's the hardest part of the industry right there.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what this is talking about here too, which is knowing where your stuff is coming from, because the concern is not that they're all illegitimate. It's that the issue is that expanding market for unapproved stuff, and you just don't know where it's coming from. So the article is
here's how it works to break it down. So let's just say majority of research companies, like I say, like 99.99, they're having all of this shit shipped in from China, already bottled.
Yeah.
Right? And so let's just say somebody buys, 500 bottles of, say, Tessamorelin. Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got 500 bottles. It costs you $400 to test it. You're going to take a few of those bottles and test a few.
Oh, I see. A sample.
How do you know what the fuck's in the rest of them?
Yeah, you don't.
No, that's exactly my point.
I see.
Then these same companies, you'll get that Tessamorelin this first time.
Yeah.
A purple cap. The next time it's in a yellow cap. Because these are all different. They're just pumping the shit out as fast.
Yeah.
That's where we totally sidestep that to create a better experience and more trust for our customers, and the fact that we basically get the raw material. We test the batch. Now everything for that batch we know is covered, and it doesn't make a difference when you order. You're going to get the same semi-transparent red lid, no matter the product or the time of what you ordered it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a totally different. But yeah, that is the biggest issue.
So now when Johnny came out of Australia, and like I said, this conversation is happening all over the world these days. It's happening here in Canada, it's happening in Australia, it's happening in the States, and that one surfaced in Nature Science magazine. Just continuing the dialogue that we want to keep having here on the Peptide Desk with myself, John Anderson, this morning on if your stuff
Australia, I think, has whole different set of laws than we do, I think.
Yeah, so they're so based on what I just learned yesterday, very similar to over here actually right now. They're still kind of trying to figure it out. They're kind of in that gray spot as well. Michael Hurd says if your stuff comes from a guy behind a gas station, Johnny, it's probably legit. No, it's probably not legit. Hey, John, were you John Cougar Mellencamp fan at all by any chance?
It was hard not to know who he was, but I can't say there was a few songs here and there, but I wasn't like buying albums.
Yeah.
I guess you'd say tapes.
Or 8 tracks, right? Hey, the guy's going back on tour. Check this out. It's an epic spot here, Kai. Check this out, man. You'll appreciate this. Just pulling the sled up the road in California there. Just getting after it. I think he's in his 70s, a little bit older than you and I. But there he is, just pulling his sled. And
those sleds are, just so everybody understands, those have brakes. So you set, it's not just what you're looking at. You set resistance on that thing.
Yeah. I have one of those, Johnny. I actually have, Card and I have one of those.
They're slick, aren't they?
They are, man. You know what's so... You'll appreciate this. I got it delivered to my house a couple years ago. I was so excited to get the sled because all I want to do is push it up and down my driveway. My neighbors were walking by going, "What are you doing?" I go, "I got a brand new toy." They go, "You fucking weirdo," because I had a bunch of weight pushed on it and I was pulling it up, pushing it, and pulling it, right? Because it's kind of neat. It's kind of fun, even though to those that enjoy doing that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's hard. It's fucking hard, man.
It's a different type of training,
Yes.
So you want to exercise, but and it's just like, having many tools in your toolbox of training keeps things fresh.
That's it. That's it. Hey, coming up, Mark Anthony. No, Johnny, not the guy from Van Halen. Mark Anthony. He's a lawyer licensed before the Supreme Court who talks to dead people. Yes, coming up this morning, myself and John Anderson on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Hey, brother, how's the last 22 hours? What'd you do yesterday?
It was good. Had another long afternoon. I was supposed to rest, but that rest turned into more life expectancy work.
Did you go for a walk? I've been wondering. Did you go for a walk?
I did go. Of course I did.
Okay, good. Yes, good.
Yeah, brother, I don't say things and not do it. Fuck. I mean, unless it's something like, picking up fucking dog shit that has zero impact on anything in my life.
But you intentionally went for your walk, which was good. A nice walk. You turned your brain off intentionally. You enjoyed it, I'm thinking?
Yeah, Terry and I just walked around the lake. It was nice. Yeah.
Oh, nicely done. All right. I think we should bring him up. Here he is, from a Navy SEAL father who died twice to an aunt institutionalized for her intuition. This guest's family has always walked between two worlds. Let's bring him up. Mark Anthony is going to join myself and Jon Anderson this morning on the big show that we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends.
When someone you love dies, the hardest part is the silence that follows. You want one more sentence, one more sign, one piece of evidence that love didn't just disappear forever. Most people choose a side, faith or facts, comfort or proof. Today's guest lives in the tension between them. Mark grew up in a family where that tension was normal. Mediumship went back 4 generations. His father was a Navy SEAL and NASA engineer who survived 2 near-death experiences. His Aunt Marjorie was institutionalized in the 1950s for the same gift Mark would later build his life around. But Mark didn't run from evidence, he ran toward it. Courtrooms and more than 100 jury trials. He became admitted to practice before the U.S. Supreme Court. Then he became known as the psychic lawyer. That sounds impossible until you hear the grieving families, and the CBS cold case reading later tied to an arrest. After his mother died, Mark says her message gave his gift a purpose: help people who are crushed by grief. So he built a life around the question most people whisper, but rarely ask out loud. What happens when a serious legal mind takes the afterlife seriously and still insists on evidence? Mark, welcome to Mornings in the Lab. We're very happy to have this conversation with you today.
Mark Anthony. He's a lawyer licensed before the Supreme Court who talks to dead people, and he's joining us right now live with Keith and Jon on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, Keith. Hey, Jon. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Where are you coming in from today?
I'm in East Coast Central Florida, right near Kennedy Space Center, because my dad, after he got out of the Navy, became an aerospace engineer. So he was part of the whole space program. And I'm going to be in Colorado next week. I'm being a keynote at the Society for Scientific Exploration, and that's between the 18th and the 21st in Denver. So I've got a lot of touring, a lot of trips coming up this year where I'll be doing spirit communication and lectures on a wide array of topics.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to have you here today. I'm introducing you to my brother from another mother, Jon Anderson. So Johnny, I think you're going to enjoy this one, man, because I know Terry speaks some of the language that I believe that Mark Anthony speaks, which is Mark. Let's get into it, man. Your family tree reads like a paranormal documentary. You're great.
Oh, it really does. I tracked this back on both sides of the family, 4 generations. The intro video, which was really nice. Thank you. Talked about my dad's side of the family, but it was not just my father and his sister Marjorie, but also their mother Isabel and their maternal grandmother Grace all had mediumistic ability. My mother, on the mother's side of the family, mom was the whole package. I mean, she was a medium, she was precognitive, she could pick up on future events. And her maternal grandmother, Giovanna, my maternal great grandmother, came over from Italy around the turn of the 20th century, and she became known in the Italian American community of North Jersey and New York City, kind of the Sopranos stomping grounds, if you will. But she became known as the woman who knows things. And people from all levels of society would consult with her. I mean, even Catholic officials, bishops, cardinals, priests. And what's really cool is back in 2016, PBS did a special called The Italian Americans. It was a 2-night special. It's about 4 hours altogether. they actually did a segment on Giovanna and referenced her psychic abilities. So that was really cool to see that on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a deep chain of I guess you'd say psychic ability coming down the pipe, brother.
It is. For those of us who study this from a scientific standpoint, because as an attorney, I have a very analytical mind. And when I was in the practice of law, I started off as a prosecutor, then I became a criminal defense attorney, and then I segued into complex civil litigation, which involved brain injuries and head injuries. So I had to work with a wide array of experts, neuroscientists, biologists, chemists, forensics, quantum physicists, in all of this. And it appears to be a genetic trait. And there's two types of genetic traits. There's dominant genetic traits, and then there's recessive traits. For example, being right-handed is a dominant genetic trait. 90% of the people in the world are right-handed. Left-handed is a recessive trait, and it tends to run in families and it can skip generations. From what we can tell, psychic ability is a recessive genetic trait, and it will skip generations, or it'll show up. But when you get two parents with the same recessive trait, like I did, then the likelihood one of their children having that trait increases exponentially. So I feel that I'm very honored, very privileged. And I look at this ability as something that I'm the custodian of. I don't go around.
You were called to do this. You can't drop the ball.
Yeah. So Mark, so Johnny, get this, man. So your father, Navy SEAL, NASA engineer, died twice, came back both times. Mother flatlined for 6 minutes and met her dead grandmother. Your Aunt Marjorie was institutionalized and given electroshock for being a medium. You yourself had cardiac arrest at 4 years old.
Yes.
Dude, I got to be honest, man. At what point in your childhood did you realize that your family was actually not normal?
Pretty early on. We were kind of like, the Addams family in the neighborhood.
What did you realize you were the Addams family? Yeah, and your cousin Nick.
The thing is, I'm the first person to majorly go public with it. I mean, Giovanna, my great grandmother, it was not that she went public with it, but people were drawn to her.
She was kind of just discovered.
Yeah,
kind of just discovered. And the funny thing is, at my mom's celebration of life service, the church was packed. I mean, we were blown away at how many lives my mother touched, and so many people came up and they all said, "We always knew that your family was different. They're kind of weird, you guys were cool, weird, So we were sort of the all-American family next door with a twist."
Interesting. My wife, funny enough, she's a medium also.
Cool.
And her grandmother, she was very little, but she remembers her grandmother getting electric shock therapy.
Yes.
Doesn't really understand or remember why. Probably, now that you say this may have been, they probably thought she was nuts, but she was actually tied into some of this stuff, so they were shocking the shit out of her.
Precisely. If what happened with my Aunt Marjorie, and this was years before I was born, this was in the 1950s, she was married to this very religious guy. He was a bit of a fundamentalist, and I'm being kind there. He really was a fanatic, and he found her abilities frightening. He was like, "These are of the devil." And one day he was getting ready to go to work, and he was a machinist. He worked at a steel plant in Pennsylvania, and Marjorie started getting these pains in her stomach around her solar plexus, and she begged him not to go to work because she knew something horrible was going to happen. They had a big argument. Anyway, he said, fine, I'll stay home. Well, that day, John and Keith, there was a crane. It was lifting thousands of pounds of steel beams, and all of a sudden the cable snapped and the beams crushed the machine shop that he worked in and killed everybody there. Okay. So, you would think he'd be grateful.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. Yeah. You'd think he'd be grateful. What happened was it intensified his paranoia, and he conspired with an unscrupulous psychiatrist. They actually sent an ambulance to her house in the middle of a family function during the summer forcibly removed her from the home, put her in a straitjacket, took her to a mental institution where she was diagnosed as a delusional and hallucinatory paranoid schizophrenic, and for a period of 6 months was subjected to electroshock therapy. My parents were furious. My mom, who was a medium, was absolutely furious and refused to ever talk to Marjorie's husband again. And my dad said after that, he goes, Marge was a shadow of what she used to be. She never talked about seeing spirit. She never talked about seeing the future. And the thing is, in the 50s and up to the early 60s, this was looked at in many segments of society as a form of mental illness. And that, John, may explain why your wife's grandmother had been subjected to electroshock.
Well, she also remembers the straitjacket too. So you're describing this scenario. You know, I think that, you know, I'm sure they gave her some sugar-coated version of what was going on. I mean, they didn't know. They didn't know what was going on.
No, they didn't. And the thing is, the talk that I'm giving in Colorado next week, I'm doing a spirit communication, a group event, and I'm also doing a Light Circle spirit communication event at For Heaven's Sake bookstore as well. But the thing is, the talk that I'm giving is entitled Rulers, Royals, Psychics, and Spirits, Mysticism Behind the Thrones of Power. And my research, I go back to ancient biblical times all the way up to the present day, and how people of power, kings, emperors, and get this, nearly 1/3 of U.S. presidents have all had psychic advisors behind the scenes. So there's nothing new about this. It's just that mainstream society and mainstream religion are very condemnatory about this. And so psychics and mediums have traditionally been persecuted, but behind the scenes, powerful people were consulting with them.
Keith and Jon hanging out with Mark Anthony this morning on Mornings in the Live with Keith, Jon, and friends. Hey, Mark, got a question from the community for you. Do you do hot medium readings or do you do cold medium readings?
You know, it's funny when people try to put these into a category. What I do, and I explain this extensively in all my books, particularly my latest book, The Afterlife Frequency, I open up my brain to higher frequencies. Spirits come forward, they transmit information to me, and I present it to the recipient. So I don't know if you call that hot or cold mediumship, but that's what I do. And what I found is that this isn't hocus pocus or magic. It's based on human physiology, quantum physics, and sound scientific principles. And I developed the electromagnetic soul theory, the EMS, which describes what we really are. We're not these bodies. We're like a car. All right. You guys seem like you have an appreciation for hot motor vehicles, just from the little bit that I know of you. Okay. So you may be zooming around in a Lamborghini, and then all of a sudden it starts breaking down. It starts crumbling up. Well, are you the Lamborghini? No. You get out of it and you move on. And so who and what we are is in these bodies. And when our body ceases to function, we get out and move on. The EMS is, I could go into greater detail, but I'll keep it short for now. So the electromagnetic soul theory has been adopted by many scientists in the near-death experience and in the afterlife science research, because we know from quantum physics that energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. We know from medical science that the brain has an electromagnetic field. It's only 2% of the body's weight, but it uses over 20% of the body's energy. And so when the body dies, the EMS, which is not created by the brain, in other words, consciousness is not created by the brain, it's only housed by it, the EMS moves on. So that's it in a nutshell. There's quite a bit more to this. And for those of you out there who are interested in my books, please understand, it will not be like reading an algebra textbook. I suffered through enough boring books in the practice of law. I promise I will not inflict that upon my readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff, brother. Really interesting stuff. I mean, I love the part about the vehicle. I mean, I have my set of beliefs on that too. I feel like, when all is done, we're not supposed to hand our vehicle in pristine condition. Our vehicle is supposed to be fucking wore the fuck out.
It is. It's going off to the junkyard, but who
Yeah.
we are moves on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you call yourself Oxford educated, and your books are described as Pulitzer considered. We got some big words happening here. So, in the interest of the evidence-based approach that you have built your career on, let's be frank, you're a lawyer. What does Oxford educated actually mean in your case, and what does Pulitzer considered actually mean in publishing? Because let's be frank, brother, those are pretty big phrases. They carry a lot of weight, and I want to give you some space this morning. And I pride myself in creating some safe spaces. I want to give you some space to be precise about those terms, because we would agree those terms can mean a lot, and maybe to somebody listening, they don't know what it means. Mark.
All right. When I was in law school, I attended Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, and it has a long tradition of producing quality trial attorneys. And that's what drew me to Mercer, because I've always been a public speaker. I still am. I mean, from the time I was a young child. And as part of my law school career, I did several courses in England at Oxford University. And let me tell you, that was one of the greatest intellectual experiences of my life. I absolutely loved being there. I loved the professors, and it was really cool walking down hallways. I mean, the college, Oxford's a collection of colleges within the city of Oxford. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't have a student union building. The whole town is the university. And my college, St. Edmund Hall, which, they called Teddy Hall, was 900 years old. And, walking down hallways in other colleges and realizing that Henry VIII visited there, Queen Elizabeth I, Winston Churchill. I mean, thinking about some of the luminaries who were there. I mean, right across from my dorm room was the building where the telescope was invented. That's pretty cool stuff. And so that became part of my law school career. And I was very humbled and privileged when I graduated Mercer University with honors, and I was awarded the Order of the Barrister, which is for outstanding public speakers. And so that was of all the achievements I did in the field of law, that's the one that really.
But Mark, I want to go back. Mark, I want to go back to the question though. So because it's a heavy question, and I want to give you the space to defend it. So how do you defend Oxford educated? Because you didn't answer it for me. And then how do you defend being Pulitzer considered?
Well, part of my education was at Oxford, ergo Oxford educated. Okay. And so but
you graduated from Mercer University.
But I graduated Mercer because if I had gone to Oxford to become a lawyer, which would be a solicitor and or barrister, in order to practice law in the United States, I would have had to have done an additional year at an American law school. So instead of 3 years, my legal education would have been 4. And as much as I wanted to do that, for practicality standpoint, I went with, because I knew I wasn't going to be living in England and practicing law there. I was going to.
Well, you're not but you're not Oxford educated though.
I was educated at Oxford, therefore I am Oxford educated. We can go around with this all day.
But I understand.
What you're saying is I did not get a degree from Oxford. However, I am credited with Oxford education.
But you're not. No, hold on. With all respect, you're not Oxford educated because you didn't get a degree from this. That's wrong. That's not a true statement. So you're not.
It is a true statement. It is a true statement.
But you're not Oxford educated though. You're Mercer educated.
I have a degree from Mercer, which included the study of law at Oxford in England. Ergo, I am Oxford educated. And quite frankly, I think we're wasting time on this.
Okay, no,
because we can go all day long. Because here's the thing: you're not going to win with me. You're not going to win with me.
I want to give you the space to defend. That's all. I
already defended it. Now let's move on.
Hey, Mark, just so you know, Mark, you probably saw I got him real riled up.
I saw that about with the drugs and all that. And I wasn't sure what drug it was. But the thing is, now both of my books,
because I just want to read, because being Oxford educated means an individual holds a degree from the University of Oxford.
Or it means somebody who was educated at Oxford, even though they didn't get a degree. Question: why is it so important for you to waste valuable interview time with me on something that is irrelevant?
Oh, because I'm just going on your words. Because people, people hear Oxford educated, and to somebody who is Oxford educated, they might go, but Mark isn't, though.
Well, here's the thing.
So you got.
Hold on. Stop.
Okay.
Oxford considers me educated there because recently I was conducting a lecture on the secrets, mysteries, and curse of Tutankhamun. Okay. And Howard Carter, who was a British archaeologist, one of my heroes, he had a photographer, Griffin, who took the photographs for the expedition. And Oxford owns the copyright on them. And it's 75 pounds per photo. And so I looked at them and I contacted the Griffin Institute at Oxford University. And I explained, I went to St. Edmund Hall, explained my credentials, including Mercer. And they granted me, because I attended Oxford University and was educated there, they granted me exclusive use of all the photographs free of charge, as long as I made sure I credited each photo in the slides that I was using. And when I presented this talk at the Edgar Cayce Association for Research Enlightenment, some of the top Egyptologists in the world were there. And on a break, they came up to me and said, "Where did you get those photos? We thought we saw everything that was documented about Howard Carter, and you had dozens of photos we've never seen." So the thing is, Oxford's not just going to hand that out to anybody. So moving on to my books, Evidence of Eternity and the Afterlife Frequency, they were Pulitzer considered. What that means is somebody, and I don't know who, submitted both of those books for Pulitzer Prizes. And I'll never forget, Keith, the first time on Evidence of Eternity, I got this letter from Columbia University, and I thought it was a joke. Okay, they said your book has been submitted and is being considered for a Pulitzer. So I called the number on there, and I'm expecting, like, I'm sorry, but this number cannot. Instead, I get Columbia University officer of the Pulitzer, and I go, "Really?" And they go, "Yes. How can we help you?" And so I explained what the letter was. It goes, "Yes, that came from our office," and they had a number there, and they go, "Yes, we have Evidence of Eternity. It has been submitted to the committee for consideration for a Pulitzer." So then a couple years later, when the Afterlife Frequency came out, then they were doing everything by email. I got an email that said virtually the same thing. I called again, and the same thing. So both books were considered. See, where a lot of authors make a major faux pas is if that happens, they say, "My book was nominated." That's not how it works. It's submitted, then it's considered, then there's a short list of the nominees. It's kind of like in the Academy Awards. All right, one of my favorite actors, Harrison Ford, is a Emmy nominated, or excuse me, Oscar nominated. Okay, because he's been in that short list. He's never won an Academy Award, in my opinion. He should have, but he's never won one. But he's been on that short list. And you have to realize that when it comes to the Pulitzers, there's got to be scores, if not hundreds of books each year that are submitted. So somebody, or more than one person out there, believes that what I've written was good enough to be at least submitted, and then eventually was considered for a Pulitzer. So I hope that
I think the challenge, Mark, comes though when we use terms like "they" and "we don't know." It just it lacks credibility. Because when you say "they," like Pulitzer is a big term, and when you say
yeah, it is, but I don't know who did it.
But no credibility to me, to be frank, because I don't believe it, because you could have did it yourself, right? And when I did my research on what Pulitzer is, it holds no credibility for me because it doesn't mean anything to me. right? So because anybody can say they're Pulitzer considered.
And with all due respect, Keith, your opinion means nothing to me.
Oh, and that's fair. Yeah, that's fine. But when we make statements like this, that I'm Pulitzer considered, and people who are Pulitzer nominated or considered who get the Pulitzer Prize would be like, well, hold on a second here. What's this guy talking about? Right. So I'm just really talking about credibility. And when we make, blanket statements, it's hard to lean into credibility when we really don't know. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. But, like I said, these are my credentials. I attended Oxford. My books have been submitted and considered for a Pulitzer. Not everybody can say that. I'm very honored that that's happened. What else do you want me to say about that?
So let's go to you're on a TV show in 2017, The Doctors. This is fascinating to me. So you do a reading, and then a year later they catch the bad guy.
Yes.
So how does that connect? Because I hear this often where, police officers and departments, they can't solve something. They'll bring a medium in, they'll have the conversation, they get a lead. That fascinates me. That just ticks into my curiosity. How does that work, Mark?
It's a really lengthy story, and I'll try to make it as short as I can. So when I went on The Doctors, I did a reading for the family of Alison Feldman, and it was a cold case, and I didn't know anything about it, okay, because that's part of my quality control. I don't want to know anything about anyone prior to the reading. And I did a reading for her father and her cousin, and it came through that I said there was DNA found at the scene that doesn't match Allison, and that the police are making a mistake with the DNA and that they have to broaden the parameters of the DNA test. Also, I said that they're going to catch the killer because he'll already be behind bars on a different charge. And I kept getting, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the names. Terrence and Phillips. Terrence and Phillips are somehow connected to this. Now, if I got the document, where we wrote everything out of the facts, it would take probably an hour just to go through that. Long story short, the family went back to Arizona where the murder was, because we filmed the episode of The Doctors in Hollywood, California. And so the police decided to implement the familial DNA test, which at that time had only been used in a couple states like California and New York.
Yeah.
And the familial DNA it broadens the parameters of the test to search not for an identical match, but a DNA match of close family members. Okay. And this was the first time in Arizona history that the familial DNA test had been implemented. Well, immediately it found a match of a close relative, which was a brother. And this guy, great family here. He was in jail on child sexual abuse charges. And then they found another match to a guy who had recently been arrested on his 4th drunk driving charge. And that was the killer. So they broadened the parameters of the test, and they found the killer behind bars on another charge. Now, the Terrence and Phillips, the interesting thing was, and I may have the names reversed, but I think it was Lonnie. Was it Lonnie Phillips was the Grim Reaper serial killer, and the first time that familial DNA had ever been used was to catch simultaneously to the discovery of this killer, whose name is Ian Mitchum, and he's still sitting in jail awaiting trial. Okay, we're almost going 10 years, but there's more to it. The familial DNA test was challenged in New York with this guy whose name was Terrence, and it went up to the New York Supreme Court and came back that it was valid. Meanwhile, back to Arizona, the guy that's sitting in prison awaiting first-degree premeditated murder charges, it went all the way up to the Arizona Supreme Court, and the Arizona Supreme Court said that, or ruled rather, that the familial DNA test is legitimate. So that would contribute to this 10-year delay. So these are just some of the facts that came up, because when I was on the doctors, Allison's father said the doctors were asking him. He said, "Mark knew things nobody knows." Okay. He said that have never been disclosed, because these are the things that Allison was transmitting from the other side to me to her father.
Mark,
And,
do you still work at the police today, Mark? Do you still work at police departments today?
I've been consulted on a number of cases, and so I will help out behind the scenes, but I prefer to do the work that I'm doing. I do a lot of work with helping parents heal. It's a beautiful nonprofit organization, global reach, which is to do just that: help parents heal from the crushing death of a child. And they incorporate mediumship as part of their cross-disciplinary approach. And so for anybody out there who is suffering from the loss of a child, I do recommend visiting helpingparentsheal.org. It's like I said, nonprofit organization. I will be one of their keynote presenters at their biannual conference in Phoenix this year. I also do a lot of online events with them. In fact, Dr. Gary Schwartz did an online event with them a couple days ago. And I believe tonight, Dr. Mary Neal, an amazing near-death experiencer and orthopedic surgeon, will be giving a presentation, because she also has lost a child, in addition to having an incredible near-death experience.
Mark.
Real quick, brother. When when you're doing stuff like you're doing, right? And it's actually fucking documented through a goddamn TV show. It's pretty hard to argue with, right? So
yeah,
so
it is.
What I just wanted to say is, at that point, does it fucking matter if you even went to school?
It doesn't. It's just that, there's not too many mediums out there with the level of education.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
And I'm not saying that, to like, hey, look at me. It's just that everything in my life has led up to what is happening with me now. There's a reason from the time I was a child, through the type of education that I've been through, to which included going to Oxford and being credited there, to my writing ability, my speaking ability, and the way that my mind works. My brain has been studied by scientists for several years. It started when I was in my 30s with positronic emission tomography. I've been subjected to MRIs, CAT scans,
and just so you know, bro, that was
all of this to study why am I able to do this? What is it that makes my brain different?
And that's why I'm totally with you. And I'm basically saying, the school conversation, when you're doing stuff like this, the school doesn't matter. That's all I'm getting at. I get it was all part of your development, but I'm saying you get people that have XYZ blah 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 education that can't perform like you do. What the fuck's it matter?
Yeah, it's funny. In the practice of law, I was always thought of as kind of weird. They said, watch out for that guy. This came out after when I stopped. They said, watch out for that guy because he seems to know things he shouldn't know or has no reason to know. It would really come through in jury selection, because I would pick up on things. Like I was doing and this is in my book, Never Letting Go. I was conducting jury selection, which occurs at the beginning of the trial, where both sides get to question prospective juror members so we can weed out any types of prejudice or bias and end up with a fair and balanced jury. Prosecutor just finished, and I'm representing this guy. He's this big bruiser, got barroom brawl, and basically Big Bruiser A kicked the butt of Big Bruiser B, and so the loser filed charges. So I'm representing the guy that won the fight. And it's a crime of violence. And so I stood up, and one of the standard questions that you ask in a case like this is there anyone on the jury, either you or a family member, ever been the victim of a violent crime? Well, lo and behold, and I kept getting drawn to this one woman, and I kept feeling a female spirit around her. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm kind of telling my spirit guides, it's like, this is not the time to do this. And I feel a clamping around my throat, which means that the spirit died from some type of obstruction with her breathing. And this woman starts trembling and tears rolled down her cheeks. I'll never forget this. And she looked up at me and she started to sob. And she said, a year ago, my sister was in a foreign country when an escaped mental patient strangled her and then dismembered her body and threw it in the garbage like she was trash.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I'm standing there in court, and all I'm thinking is they didn't teach me in law school or at Oxford how to deal with this one. And then I'm seeing the spirit of her sister forming. I literally had a foot in both worlds. So, and if you want to find out what happens, you're going to have to get my book, Never Letting Go.
Never Letting Go, Mark Anthony. That's a good fucking plug,
plug
man.
that thing, baby. That's
Nicely
it. Plug
done.
that shit. Plug it.
Leaving a hook. Mark Anthony hooking it as he walks out of here. Mark, where can they find the book?
Visit my website, afterlifefrequency.com. It's all my books, Afterlife Frequency, Evidence of Eternity, Never Letting Go. They're on sale on Amazon, all fine bookstores, and you can order it through my website as well, which is afterlifefrequency.com. I invite everyone to sign up for my newsletter. It'll keep you up to date where I'm going to be, spirit communication events, media events like this. And I look forward to seeing all of you on my U.S. speaking tour.
Awesome. Hey, Mark, do you still study law? Like, are you still practicing law?
No, I left law. How much time do we got? It's a cool story.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah.
I toward the end of my legal career, I was offered a job at a government agency. So I was working there, but my book, Never Letting Go, was getting ready to come out. So I was taking off a lot of time. It was all, vacation time. And I was, my manager, Rocky, she travels with me. She booked me a speaking gig at MSNBC in New York City. And then after that at Harvard. So we were in New York City and then we went to Harvard. And I remember it was a couple weeks before Christmas. And if you've ever been in Harvard and in Cambridge, Massachusetts around Christmas, it's beautiful. And we're drinking these steaming cups of coffee. And all of a sudden my cell phone rings and it's the elected official. And he starts complaining. He goes, I'm getting so much flack from a particular party, you can figure out which one, that I hired a psychic and that's against God and blah, 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 blah. And he's going on and on and on. And I said, well, sir, I really appreciate everything that you've done for me and having me, but I'll make this very easy for you. And he goes, how so? I go, consider this my resignation. And he goes, okay. And I hung up the phone and then I looked at Rocky and I said, oh my God, I just quit the legal profession. And she said, Mark, take a look around. Where are you? I'm looking around. I said, Harvard. She goes, and what are you doing in an hour? I said, well, I'm doing spirit communication and signing copies of my new book, Never Letting Go. And she said, don't you think you're exactly where you're supposed to be?
And Mark Anthony was exactly where he was supposed to be this morning on June 11th with Keith and Jon on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. Mark, thanks for having fun with us, brother. And listen, back to 17 minutes ago, just doing my job, man, asking the questions.
I know you are, and I understand it, but let me tell you, I'm doing my job and I'm standing my ground. Because when I practice law, oh, no, you don't cross the line with me because, it's kind of like if you start a war, you don't pussyfoot around, you hit them with everything you got. And that was the thing. When people went up against me in court, they realized you'd better be prepared because this guy's going to take you to the cleaners.
I love it, Mark.
I want to thank you, Jon. It was a pleasure meeting you. And to all your listeners, please keep tuning into these guys. They have the right guests. They ask the tough questions. And this is what radio is all about. Thank you, guys. God bless you.
Right on,
You're awesome, man. Mark, take care. Okay, brother. Enjoy your day in Florida. Mark Anthony is joining myself and Jon Anderson this morning at Mornings Lab, running a little bit behind. We're going to do a lifestyle tip and come back and reset hour 2 and keep the show going. Good morning, Jericho. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's keep it going, my brother. Let's do it, guys.
All right, I'm going to make this one nice and short and sweet to get us back on our timelines because we had a guest that was had a lot of cool things to say, and Keith and I were bantering in the beginning, so we're behind. Well, let's catch back up. Remember, it's all about questions. I want you guys to ask yourself questions. So here's the thing. Later, that term, tomorrow, same thing. This is where your dreams go to die. That's the graveyard for your dreams right there. So here's the question. See, average men, they're just too busy. Elite men, they take action. Which kind of man are you? Rock and roll.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the big show we call Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon and friends. A lot of fun that's happening this morning with myself and Johnny. Some back and forth banter. Hey, you never know what's going to happen. We call ourselves the most unpredictable 2 hours every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on the Mornings.Live network. Coming up, we are getting... I'm with you, Kai. Hey, guys, we're going to get into this one now. We're going to get into what happens when men stop believing, plus a bunch of other fun topics with myself and John. And that conversation begins right now with Keith, Jon, and
You didn't stop believing. You stopped trusting the version of God you were sold. When today we're talking faith after certainty dies. Most men don't become atheists. They become exhausted, not no God, just I can't carry one more unanswered prayer.
Faith isn't certainty. Certainty is the drug. Faith is what you do at 3 a.m. when the success is real and you still feel hollow. Religion is the building and the bruises. Faith is the thing underneath, still alive, even if you never step back inside that room again. Here's the test. What do you reach for when fear hits? Phone, whiskey, numbers, or something bigger? That answer is your real belief. You don't have to resolve the mystery to live with meaning. We'll show functional faith, honesty, and actions that rebuild a man.
Back with Keith and Jon, we're getting into the faith conversation. What faith actually looks like for men who stop believing. And, I'm going to set this one up as Johnny's coming back here this morning, guys. So I was out for a walk with Zeglin on the weekend, and we were talking about this. And I was saying to AJ, and I got questions for the community right now, for Hersey, for Petro, for Holroyd, for Rico, and the entire gang. So, guys, as you guys have been aging, do you guys find yourself believing more or believing less? Because I find myself believing more. I do. And I'm finding myself finding comfort in that, actually. And listen, I don't want to sit here and speak whether it's religion, it's belief, right? And I was raised in a Catholic Christian world and so forth. And listen, I don't spend my days practicing my faith like many of you do, and I don't want to be disrespectful to those that do practice their faith on a very daily disciplined basis. But I got to be honest, man. As I continue to age and go through life, I find myself believing more than ever. And you might say to me, what do I believe in? I believe in energy. I believe in spirituality. I believe in the universe. I believe in, coming together. And I find myself that as I'm going through this journey in life, that I'm finding maybe there's comfort in it, and not that there's no God or that there is or isn't. I gotta find, I don't find myself leaning on whether there is or there isn't. I feel like that kind of is an irrelevant question. To me, it seems to be like an irrelevant question. To me, it's more about believing in my curiosity, believing in asking questions. And I guess it even goes back to the conversation we had with Mark Anthony, right? And it wasn't so much about me trying to be difficult with Mark. It was just reconciling words and beliefs, just like, Anderson will, right? He hears something he wants to get down to, get to the brass tacks and listen, right? So, and let's be frank, right? There is a difference between religion and faith. Right? Religion is the building, the rules, the people that hurt you, the people that love you. Where there's faith, right? Faith is the thing that was underneath all that before anyone organized it, right? You can lose one while keep the other. And like I said, I was raised, I was baptized, I went to church and so forth. But as I get older, I find myself probably more than ever wanting to, feeling comfortable with this idea of belief. So for me, when I think about what faith actually looks like for a man who stopped believing, I find myself believing more than ever, right? And it's not so much that it's doubt, and not. And then someone say, "What about doubt?" Well, doubt is not the opposite of faith. I'd say that certainty is, right? And there, we might say that there's, the man who's wrestled his doubt to the ground may have a sturdier faith than a man who has never questioned anything. We go back to curiosity, right? Again, I love this conversation with Mark because I love being curious, right? John, I know you were listening in there. I was off for my walk with AJ on the weekend. Johnny, I believe more than ever as I get older. I know you do too, don't you?
I believe, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm understanding exactly what you're saying. Believe.
Yeah, believe like in faith and just spirituality, believe.
Yeah, the whole topic. Oh, fuck yeah. 100%.
Like more than ever, John, like, so that's why I was having some fun with Mark, because I want to ask those questions. But I find as I get older, I was having this conversation with Zeglin. I find comfort as I'm aging in believing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's when if you think about it, belief in something is kind of your brain stops fucking problem solving once you believe.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it that way.
The anxiety from trying to solve that problem disappears.
Yes.
Like one of the things that I've taken confidence in as an entrepreneur, is that no matter how hard I get hit, right? So let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, I get hit and it's a 3. I'll overcome that and I'll get a little better. But I get hit and say it's an 8 or a 9. I'll overcome that too, and it's going to fucking hurt, but I'll be way better.
Yes.
I believe no matter what happens, it's just a stepping stone to make me to get me to the next level of me. And I believe that. So in a certain sense, I welcome the problem. Come on, hit me. What do you got?
Yeah,
I know that. I really don't want to have to fucking deal with the discomfort, the pain of the problem, but I look forward to the end result once I whoop its ass.
Dude, that's such a remarkable point of view, actually, because I never thought about it that way, which is hit me because I want to lean into my belief, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and don't hit me with this little bullshit. Hit me with something that's going to fucking propel me forward. So when people say I want more, what they're really asking for is life to fucking serve up a big fucking obstacle, because you have to get better for life to get easier. End of story.
It's funny because I had a conversation with Whitaker or Maddie. Life is hard. Like when you intentionally live life, it's hard because you're trying to be better. Think about it, right? You want to eat better, sleep better, make better decisions. That's intentionality. That's hard, Johnny, for a lot of people. That's why we joke about people stuck on the couch, because it's hard to be intentional. It's hard to believe. It's hard to make decisions.
Yeah, and I agree with that for the masses. But I think that the people that have evolved, they recognize hard is just, it's just like, we don't really mention breathing.
No, it's just what you do, right?
It's just part of the way it works. And if you choose this path, you accept whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, is it hard? Yeah, I just choose to not use the adjectives that program my brain into. I'd rather program into, life is filled with opportunities.
Yeah, I listen. I don't think life is hard. I frame it.
No, and you're saying most people. So I was speaking about. Wasn't speaking directly to you. More of the way that people tend to think because they're programmed.
Yeah, 100%. But the faith thing, Johnny. So your mother's aging, my father's aging. When I think about faith and I think about belief, and losing my father one day because he's the older one, and you losing your mother one day, and I think about death. I got to be honest, man. I feel more comfortable about it than I ever have been. I'm not telling. I'm not.
100%.
I do.
100%.
I've never felt this more comfortable in my life about passing. If that makes sense to you.
Well, and here's my one step further to that thought process.
Yeah.
Is that like I don't see my mom in person that often. I talk to her on the phone.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But when she passes, I'll actually have more communication more often with her. Mm-hmm. So I'll get more of her when she passes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's funny because that's exactly what I was talking about with Zeglin, and I got to be honest, man, I'm finding comfort in that feeling for some bizarre. I can't explain it to you. Maybe you know how I'm feeling, but I feel comfort in that, and it's like because I know inevitably in the next number of years that's going to happen in my world, right? And it's maybe it's me preparing my brain for that and my heart that okay, I'm going to lose something, so maybe it's me acknowledging how I'm going to deal with it, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that's hard, right? And you can live in that, right? And you can program yourself it's fucking hard, or you can program the fact that it's going to happen.
Yes.
And I believe that when it does X, Y, Z, so you just it's like you just take a different position. You flip the coin to the other side.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But But this for me is just to wrap this conversation. One last thing on it, because I was thinking about it last night because I knew we were going to talk about this. Was this for me has been linked to age for me. Like I never thought this way back in my 30s or 40s. This for sure has been linked to my, maybe
it's personal evolution for sure.
Yeah. Yes, for sure it is. Because I don't think we have this awareness when we're younger. We don't. We're not thinking about this kind of stuff at all, actually.
Well, and realistically, we're fucking trying to shake all the fucking programming that's been imposed on us.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm fuck. I mean, I say it all the time. My fucking biggest blessing is that I did not fit into the mold.
Yeah.
Because then I would have followed the path of the people in the mold. That's just the way we do it.
Yes.
You don't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's fascinating because I was talking with somebody yesterday. It's like we are living in an era right now, John, and you said the programming where like everything we were raised with for the last 50 years is like all into question now. Like everything. It's like, wait a minute, right?
But dude, it's like let's talk about wealth,
like
right?
Everything.
The wealthy buy assets and they never sell.
Yeah.
They borrow against the assets because that borrowed money is not a taxable event.
Yes.
As to where the programming is, you fucking trade your fucking quality of life for some job you don't want to do for 40 years. You save as much as you can, and then you hope that you don't outlive your money.
Yeah.
That literally.
I know. I know.
But if you were told, hey, you know what? No, you know, because you buy an asset, right? You sell an asset. You just gave a bunch of it away.
Yes.
Think about that. Just this one simple concept. Or you buy an asset, and as it increases, like they always do, instead of selling, you borrow money against it. That's not taxable. So if you borrow $100,000, you keep that $100,000. You'd have to sell the asset for $150 to get that 100, and you lose your asset.
Yeah. Yeah. You speaking of assets and selling, we've been talking all week about, John, the SpaceX IPO and the three big IPOs.
That today?
I think, you're right, today. Yeah. But so Anthropic, the front, and OpenAI are dropping too, right? So John, Bitcoin sold off yesterday, or this week, because people who all are holding Bitcoin are like, well, I don't have any cash liquid. I want to go buy some SpaceX. So
dude, I love it. I'm about ready to buy a big chunk later today.
I'm telling you, there's a massive Bitcoin sell-off because all that money, like all the bros, I'll just say, Johnny, that are like, okay, I got to go buy some SpaceX. So like, my money's over here in Bitcoin. I got to liquidate it to move it over here. So there's no question there's some opportunities right now in the market. No question. Not advice, just observations.
Well, the idea that when an asset goes down, people run from it. That's when you fucking buy it.
100%, because everybody's running over there right now to the SpaceX IPO. Everybody, all the institutional investors, retail investors. So to those that are looking to get into the BTC market, it might be, again, not advice, just observation that there's some opportunities over there right now, Anderson. For sure there are. For sure.
Yeah, you know that it's the Bitcoin conversation is crazy because the big one is just going to go to zero, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that with, just with some of the latest, evolutions and the Strait of Hormuz using, Bitcoin for passing, I think that argument's starting to disappear. So if that argument disappears, now you're looking at the one asset on the planet that is not inflationary.
Is that not the ultimate fuck you, though? They get every morning, hey, I know how we can make money. Let's charge the world Bitcoin to travel through the Strait of Hormuz.
And because they think every other type of payment, is being diluted.
Yes, yeah.
So it's like, but you think about this, kind of a crazy thought. If gold went to 50,000 an ounce, they would find a way to get more gold.
Oh man. Keith Jon this morning on Mornings Aloud with Keith Jon. T-Rex purse, like when folks have lots of cash and you're just looking to spend it on an asset or an investment. Hey, Kai, what's up with the T-Rex purse?
A purse made from T-Rex DNA is hitting auction. $300K to $500. Luxury? Science? Or Jurassic cosplay with a credit limit?
Here's the twist. Scientists rebuilt collagen from fossils, grew leather-like material, but critics say chicken protein helped. So, T-Rex or bougie KFC?
Either way, it's a real story. Biotech meets branding meets status. What counts as real? The DNA, the marketing, or what people will pay?
This is fascinating to me. So this is a T-Rex purse, even though it might not have T-Rex in it. Somebody paid 500,000 pounds for it. So let's call it $1 million. to allegedly have a purse that has T-Rex collagen in it. and the world's like,
that's got to be a person that's just they got to spend something because they're facing a major that million was either going to be paid taxes on or they were going to buy something.
Yeah, yes.
And that's basically considered to be a write-off because they carry that thing to certain places that help them make money.
Or is that the proverbial cliche where there's money burning a hole in your pocket? Give me a fucking T-Rex leather bag. Really? Like, honest to God. Yeah. Oh, man. What are you doing today, man? What's on the agenda? More life expectancy work?
No. I'm fucking tired.
I didn't even finish asking the question.
No, I'm tired, dude. I'm tired.
No.
Yeah. So, because we're leaving for Mexico tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, keep in mind, you understand. So yesterday and the day before.
Yeah.
Terry doesn't get up from these sessions until like 10:30 in the morning. I get up at fucking 3:30.
Yeah, you've already lived a day.
Well, but the point is, it takes her that much to fucking recharge her batteries. I don't get that fucking. I don't have that luxury.
Oh, Anderson, you're so awesome.
So I'm tired, man.
Oh my God! So
today was a non-try. I mean, if today was a training day, I would have had to rethink my yesterday afternoon. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm already tired, but I'm not training tomorrow. So, and for the most part, it's a kind of fairly laid back days. We're getting ready to leave for Mexico in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, you're leaving tomorrow, are you? Yeah.
After the show.
Yeah.
So today will be like my afternoon. I have a call with another dude interested in the turnkey business.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking that's jumping, dude.
Is it really? Yeah. People knocking on the door.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of people knocking, but it's where our goal is to bring on the right people.
I was just going to say, my question was, how are you qualifying somebody?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways we qualify them.
Yeah.
And start up the conversation by saying, look, if you don't have A, B, and C, I suggest you don't do this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Well, it's a good way to fucking vet somebody out. Because just be straight with them right off the bat. Really? Right?
Yeah. Well, it's because when it comes down to it, I mean, it's like a client. You bring a client into your world. Are you bringing in fucking toxicity?
Well, yeah, exactly. Is that what you want to have in your world?
Protecting my universe.
Yeah. Speaking of protecting universe, imagine being in a hospital and walking by the hallway and seeing this happening in the room. Hey, Kai, check this out. WTF is this? Look at this. These nurses having some fun, just hanging out with some dude here. So there's a guy laying on the gurney, and there's a woman on the guy in the gurney, and I guess he might be lonely. There was some frolicking happening. I'm not sure if we're going to see it here or not, but
who climbed on there? One of the nurses?
Yeah, one of the nurses.
And run that back again. I was looking at how fucking fat everybody is.
You know what? When I wander around society, it's not lost upon me how large society is.
Fuck, dude. I'm like, these are medical people. They're supposed to be helping people be healthy, and look at them. Okay, start. Where did I miss the fucking?
There was some. I thought there was some crazy activity happening there on their Kai. Was there not?
There's got to be. Start it over.
Yeah, so I thought because she was riding the dude there for a while there. I don't know what's going on.
She was on there before they started covering it up.
Yeah. Hey, Kai, can you run it back there?
Yeah, let's start it over from the beginning. Oh, fuck. She literally just climbed on just like that.
And he's dead. Like
these fucking ladies are fucking out there.
Like, what happens in hospitals that we don't know about? Who knows? Hey, do you remember these water beds? Did you have a water bed growing up at all? Or have you seen these things before? Maybe it's fucking water beds.
No, I've never had one, but I remember I've slept on a lot of them.
My parents had one just like that, and it was like the worst fucking thing ever. That must have been the greatest and worst invention happening at the same time. All the fucked up backs from people sleeping on water beds.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I mean, from a conceptual, it sounded great.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so did the padded van when they were making fucking.
Well, then what the fucking thing is these fucking things spring leaks and people come home and their whole fucking bedroom is shot.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, because of the waterbed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Okay, hey Kai, hey Jon, before you go.
Hey, Jon, before you go, we found a post doing numbers. 2.3K likes, 555K views, about something men are weirdly honest about.
The replies are basically, yes, I like it, yes, I'm straight, and yes, it rocked my soul. Internet therapy, but horny. One guy's like, not with long nails, be gentle. Another's like, slow approach. This comment section reads like a safety briefing. There are dudes describing stronger orgasms like it's a product review. 5 stars, would clench again, delivery was internal.
And the wild part, hundreds of men openly confirming it. Jon, either we're late or we've been living under a very boring rock. Hey, Jon, be real. Are you surprised, amused, or personally invested? And what's your professional take on why men are so loud about it?
Laugh.
These stories at the end.
I know.
I almost fucking find myself not following the story, just looking at the excitement of the gay brothers.
I was looking at Sterling's face while pressing.
They're so excited. This is like the peak of the show. It's the story falls into the background. Honestly, I missed it. What is it? Finger in the ass? Is that what it's?
Do guys actually enjoy a finger in their ass while getting?
Well, of course, we know those two motherfuckers do.
But I enjoy. It's like they're trying to get a rise out of you, right? It's like they're addressing you. They're like just trying.
They're trying to ask me out on a date in a very subtle way.
That's what it is.
Fucking weirdos.
Oh man, so fun. Nice BMX bike, says Charlie. Good time. All right, pal. Lots of love, man.
These fucking shows have been going by fast the last couple of days.
Probably just because we're having fun, dude. We're having fun. We're just
crazy.
Have good conversation and fun. And I know, believe me, I know. I'm like, holy shit, the thing's almost over now. So it's good. And a lot of
what's with signing in? Is that whole thing? Was that like a glitch in
I think it was a bug. Yeah. So I got a note from Kai. She said it was a little bug this morning, so it shouldn't happen tomorrow. I had the same. I got logged in this morning. I goes, "Where's the fucking show?" So believe me, I
wasn't alone.
No. I was because I got in here and I was panicking. I'm like, "Where's the fucking show?" So
it's the same thing. I was like, I got to be missing. So I was kind of like Twilight Zone and like, okay, did I do something wrong here?
I was the same thing. I was like, where the fuck is it? So
worse. I mean, that where you sent me that text and I was able to open it up. So worst comes to worst, that's our fallback.
That's exactly So well, it's funny because we're on such a routine here, right? So I'm looking at the clock here and I know you're walking in and then I feel my wrist vibrate and I look and I'm like, oh, Anderson's stuck at the door or something. So
yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Because it's such a routine and all of a sudden it's not something like we're used to seeing. It's like, it's such a subconscious act. As soon as you can be conscious, like, wait a minute.
Well, that's exactly it.
Did I fucking miss something?
That's exactly it. Oh, man. All right, pal. Hey, man, lots of love from me to you. I really enjoyed our time today. I enjoyed how we kicked it off. We're going to continue tomorrow with Petro. We got the Petrocelli coming in. We're going to talk some blind testing, placebo testing. We'll get into some good back and forth banter with our very own Dr. Jon. Unless he's going to pull one on us, Johnny, and maybe he's going to go be a tennis dad again. We know those fathers.
Maybe he's got to figure out what his new outro is going to be.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
But hey, real quick, one of the reasons I was pressing so hard on the original statement about the blind testing is because when I'm testing on myself.
Yeah.
If I do something and I know right away, that's like fucking perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah.
Perfect. That's the kind of fucking data I'm looking for.
Then the test is over, eh? Basically,
it's a really you're looking for strong signals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was having some fun, man. That's because
yeah. No, I was just having fun.
I know.
We always we start chewing on.
You know what's good though? To anybody listening, I don't care if you're listening or not. I'm just going to go Keith and Jon for like on the business side of things. I was coaching somebody yesterday about like doing this, like hosting and stuff. I was like, it's okay to kind of exaggerate and kind of create some energy on the show. It's like, well, what do you mean? I should say, go back and watch a few minutes of Keith and Jon this morning, because that's what draws people in. It's not just monotone. I don't agree with you, Jon. I don't agree with you, Keith. Oh, fuck, man. Put something into it.
Well, that's what it was like before I showed up.
Get out of here. My brother from another mother, Johnny Anderson's out of here. Lots of love, pal. Enjoy your day, okay?
Have a good loop, my brother.
All right, Johnny's out of here, guys. Good morning, everybody. You're left with me. Just me, just me, just me. Yes. What's up, Sullivan? Hats off to both you. A live morning show 5 days a week for 1 to 2 hours is highly great exercise for the brain. Yeah, Sullivan, you have no clue. Maybe I can get my brain scanned like our guest, Mark Anthony. Yes. Hey, do you guys think Mark's tuning in right now? Or do you think Mark's tuned us out? Do you think Mark is my friend on LinkedIn anymore, Neiman? Or do you think Mark is not my friend on LinkedIn anymore? Was this not to mention the other? Yes. Okay. We have 2 monologues. Oh, yeah. You know what it is, Kai? Because we didn't get to yesterday's. Yeah, we didn't get to yesterday's. We bumped out yesterday. So today we are going to, yeah. Hey, Kai. So we have, So today, I think today's monologue, Kai, is on the faith one, eh? You tell me, Kai, which one you want to run, and we'll get after. But I believe I have the faith one in front of me here today because I think it's leaning into the same one as yesterday. Yeah, good. Okay, we're on the same page there. So awesome. Thank you so much for that one. Hey, guys, what's today? Today's Thursday. Jason Hewlett today at 5 o'clock. Yes, 5 o'clock Eastern time, the Jason Hewlett Show. Listen, straight up, there's not a live network on the planet where you get ridiculous conversation about squirting and crazy conversation like Keith and Jon, all the way to faith and no swearing and all the other F words with Jason Hewlett. Solid dude. Jason was on our show a few months back. He's got his own show on our network, and it's called the Jason Hewlett Show. I invite you guys to go check it out today. It's fun. It's enlightening. It's inspiring. It's motivating, and it's loaded with faith. In a very, very positive way. So I would encourage you to check that out. Looking at my comments here, I think Mark is consulting his frequencies. Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to go back to that. So here's the challenge that I have. When somebody tells me that they have accreditation, big words around their name, I need to ask questions about it. And when you say that you're Pulitzer considered, well, fuck, man, I'm Pulitzer considered too. I could be Emmy nominated. I could be Oscar nominated. You know, I heard somebody might have considered our show as an Emmy nominated show. Really? So what? So hey, Neiman, let's get the content out there. Oh, hey, we know that the transcripts are capturing this for the internet. So moving forward, hey, internet, yeah, this is the Emmy considered Mornings in the Lab. Yeah, this is the Emmy nominated Mornings in the Lab. I just want to get that into the transcripts, Neiman, so that the internet can recognize that we are the Emmy nominated. We got JR McCullough in the comments. You're going to drop the best dookie of your life this upcoming week, and it's going to bring you unbelievable success in life. A leprechaun is going to jump out and give you words of wisdom. Oh yeah, JR McCullough dropping us some bombs this morning over in the comments. You guys can join it as well. Mornings.network over here on YouTube. Okay, so let's get to the monologue. I missed it yesterday. Today's monologue is going to be on the faith that your faith you quit on might be still knocking. So I suspect I got about 45 to 55 seconds before this one happens. So let's get after it. The morning focus this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Oh, I got a minute. We're back to get the monologue going. We're talking faith. The faith you quit on is still knocking. Coming up next on Mornings in the Lab with Keith Jon and friends.
We don't quit faith in a day. We stop answering it. We call it maturity. It's usually pain we didn't process. Belief isn't a mood, it's a response. We can feel nothing and still choose truth. We can carry questions without calling them freedom.
The excuse is clean. I outgrew it. Translation, we got disappointed and renamed it wisdom. We didn't lose faith. We got tired of hoping.
That tiredness doesn't stay spiritual. It bleeds into our tone, our patience, our marriage, our kids watching us. We get sharper. We call it being realistic.
The knock doesn't stop. We hear it in the quiet, in the drive. In that moment, we almost pray and swallow it. That's not weakness.
That's memory.
Some of us aren't afraid of God. We're afraid of meaning. Meaning demands responsibility. It won't let us drift. It makes us answer for the man we're becoming.
We don't need a stage or perfect words. We need honesty in the moment we feel the pull. We stop performing toughness. We admit we still want home. Chief's about to break this open without preaching at us. Stay close for the monologue. If we still hear the knock, we're not done. Morning begins here.
Petro says, seriously, when was public opinion diagnostic of anything beyond zilch? Yeah, true story. Hey, I did a little bit of digging in between the segment there on the murder case that was allegedly that Mark had a hand in, and every primary. Here's the thing: we're pretty good with AI here in this show. We're pretty good with doing some deep research. Oh yeah, deeper than you probably could imagine. So I'm just thinking, if you're going to come on our show, you might want to do some deep research yourself to ensure that anything you're putting on the table might just show itself in the deep research that we are going to gather as well. Because the deep research has suggested that the case was not solved by Mark. It was solved by other things. So, yeah. But listen, I believe. And one of the things that I do believe in is curiosity. And curiosity is, I think, a superpower. And as long as you have a superpower of curiosity, you can have beliefs in whatever you want to believe in. And the faith that you quit on is still knocking. And I want to talk to one dude this morning, just one dude. And maybe you're listening to me right now, maybe you're listening to me on demand later, but I want to talk to you. You. The man, the woman, the Gen X, the boomer, the person who stopped believing. I know you did not make a big announcement. I know that. There was no moment. There was no wake up saying, I'm just fucking not believing anymore. No, you just slowly, discreetly, and quietly stopped. Maybe the praying got shorter. Maybe then the praying stopped. Maybe the questions got quieter. Then they stopped. Maybe your curiosity left. And then you told yourself this, you know what? I'm just growing out of it. Maybe in your journey of life, you spent some time at the church, and maybe the church hurt you. And maybe you asked for one thing, one time when it really mattered, and the silence on the other end of that request was the loudest that you'd ever heard. And listen, I'm not going to stand here to argue you out of that situation, and I'm not even going to try to do that. But here's what I know about you. Because you're still listening to a show like this one. The knocking never actually stopped because you feel it at the strangest time, standing over your kid's bed at night, on the highway, when a song you forget comes on the radio, at a funeral, when the room goes quiet and you catch yourself almost saying something to someone you swore was not there. Nation. That's not weakness. That's not you being naive. That's the oldest part of you, the part that was there before the disappointment. Before the disappointment telling you that it's home. Because here's the thing that nobody says out loud. You do not have to have it all figured out to answer the door. You do not need the building. You do not need the certainty. You do not even need the words. Because when we think about faith was never about really being sure, was it? Because the men, the women, the people out there who are sure, those are the folks that scare me. Faith is what you do with doubt, isn't it? It's the decision to live your life, meaning something like your kids will outlast you, like your world is worth keeping before anyone hands you the proof. You've been treating belief like a debate that you lost. It was never a debate. It was a door, my friend. And the man on the other side of that door is not asking you to be certain. Yet somewhere in our journey, we strive for finding certainty. No. The man on the other side of that door is asking you to stop pretending you do not hear the knocking. So today, I invite you to do one thing. The next time that you feel quiet, the next time you feel it, the quietness, the pull, that almost saying something, I invite you to not shut down. Do not explain your feelings away. Just stand there a second longer and feel it and let that moment be real. Because maybe that's the first honest thing that you could do in that moment before you stop believing. Maybe that is answering the door. And maybe today is the day where you ask yourself, is today the day that I answer the door? Hey, my name is Keith Billis. I'm the host of Mornings in the Lab. And my invitation to you is this. Today's the day that you go answer that door.
All right, Lab, listen up. Today we're looking at the lies we tell ourselves just to feel safe. From the simple gym plans we ditch to the shiny cages we build with our paychecks. And the morning body data we completely ignore because our egos are too fragile. Stop pretending. Your start decides your day. Handsome Chief, let's get into it.
Thank you, Maya Reyes. Hey, Dr. Rena Malik was over on YouTube. Yep, she sure was. I see a lot of Rena Malik these days. Yes, she says, we usually treat morning wood as a joke or a crude ego measurement, but you know what she's actually saying? She's reframing it as pure, unfiltered health data. And she's true. We joke about it on the show often. The morning salute is actually your body reporting on your blood flow, the sleep hormones, and a cardiovascular health. So guys, if you wake up with the morning wood, you should be happy. It's not about clicks. No, it's about vital metrics. So if the signal stops, that might be your body saying, hey, warning, warning, warning. So guys, if you get up and the morning wood is not there, maybe that's the day you need to go and get that checkup going, because admitting a change feels like it's a hit to your manhood, or it's time to get up and go find out why that morning wood is not rising. Because here's the thing, guys. What if your pride, your pride is the only thing keeping you from reading your body's most critical dashboard? So guys, put that pride aside, put that ego aside. If the morning wood is turning into a morning branch, well, today's the day to go talk to your doctor. True story. All right, moving over to Substack. Hey guys, boredom. What about boredom? Yeah, I got something on boredom. So hey, listen, we got Jack Colson. Jack. Somebody's calling me Kevin all week. No, my name is Keith. He's calling out every guy who claims he's getting serious about fitness but switches routines every 3 weeks. Guys, listen, we don't lack information. It's everywhere. We are addicted to novelty because boredom feels like failure. Think about it. You've tried keto, fasting, TRT, peptides, a new gym, and you still haven't stayed consistent for 12 straight weeks. You know what, guys? The villain isn't laziness. No, it's your own mirror. Yeah, that Monday restart that I'm going to start next week, that addiction to starting next week, someday, one day, that addiction, it's killing your progress, guys. My invitation to you is just get up, get after, and get moving. So here's the question. Would you rather research a brand new protocol for hours and wait, or finally face the sheer boredom of keeping a simple promise to yourself? Maybe that's the question you want to ask yourself today. Okay, hey, over on LinkedIn, Jay Shakiti Cannon hit LinkedIn with a brutal reality check about the founder's trap. We all chase that money because we think it buys freedom. Well, hey, then that money, buys bigger house, bigger team, massive overhead. Suddenly, the life exists solely to feed the expensive machine you built. Yep, true story. Haha. You don't buy that freedom, you just become incredibly expensive to maintain. So guys, here's the question for all my Gen Xers out there. Is that the ultimate Gen X provider paradox? We work, we create, we gain, we build. Then we have to ask ourselves about the ambition and the lifestyle creep, because here's this. What did you buy when you finally started making money that actually made you less free? You got a list for me? You got a piece of paper long enough for me? Hey, Maya, what's the most ridiculous? Hey, guys, maybe Maya was the one. We don't pay Maya enough to go buy that T-Rex purse. Hey, Maya, what's the most ridiculous ego purchase you ever almost made?
Chief, I was this close to buying a vintage Porsche I absolutely don't know how to drive, just to look cool at stoplights. Luckily, sanity prevailed. But seriously, guys, whether it's your ego blocking a doctor visit or dodging a consistent workout, the theme today is honesty. Stop betraying the boring plans and stop ignoring the hard data. One excuse out, one action in. See you on Monday in the lab.
Did she say Porsche? Neiman, who's paying Maya Reyes? She's going to buy a Porsche? Dude, what's up with the Porsche? No, we don't pay our people to buy Porsches around here. No, only Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed the time with us today with myself and John Anderson. We had a lot of fun on the show today. Keith and Johnny were bantering around placebos and psychedelics and testing. We're going to keep that conversation going with Petro tomorrow. She says, good time you were paying attention. Yeah, no, that might have been an older clip from Maya that we put on the table today because our week has been a little bit off with things. We can never get anything by the good old Mornings in the Lab community. Guys, we're back at it tomorrow with Petro. A lot of fun conversation. We are going to continue to put on the table. Yes, we are. And we're going to ask the tough questions. We're going to get the tough answers. And we might even talk about the 100-paper fold that I got sitting in my inbox that I want Petro to break it down with me tomorrow. We're going to break down the fold. We're going to break down placebo effects, plus a bunch of other great bullshit topics with the favorite, Dr. Jon Petruccelli, tomorrow on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Jon, and friends. So, Nation, on behalf of Neiman, where's Jimmy today? You guys know where Jimmy is? I haven't seen him. Is he gone to Japan again, Kai, or was Jimmy gone back to Japan? All kidding aside. Jimmy's wife's birthday was today, so Jimmy's off, probably getting older. Yeah, I think he's probably, living longer. Maybe some life expectancy work happening over there in the Philippines with Jimmy and his wife. So congratulations on having 1 year older of life. Yes. All right, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I got work to do, people to see, things to build. Guys, go get into Claude Fable today. Yes. If you get a chance, go give it a shot. All right, on behalf of Kai, Melissa, Keith, I see you, Good Time. I see you, Sullivan. I see you, Kindness. I see you, JR. I see you, Holright. I see you guys out there. Rico, have a good time, guys. Have a good time. Have a good day, guys. Lauren, I love you, baby. Hersey, good to see you out there as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Less than 24 hours, right here live, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Tune in with Roofy, 7:30. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, Nation. Ciao.